The Quinn ones, when you voice that you don't like the Russian girl, right? That's a precursor that you guys knew that you took something either from the Russians or whatnot. And since you have a leaning, Lita, to the Spanish, to Mexico and Spain, right? That there was a dispute there of ownership. So did Joe, all right, or Harry, one of you guys in the military, take something from there, right? And then he went to a Spanish leaning because of the Maltese cross, right? Right, to assert his dominance. So, Lita, when you don't like the Jewish girls like Haley and Miranda, and you don't like the Russians, it tends to lead or suggest that you, Lita, the Spanish or the Mexicans, right, stole with the Negroes from other nations. So that's why I say be careful, because later on in the future, people figure that stuff out, right? And so if the overseas, they have like Joe's little journey all cataloged, right? And he's using his grandchildren to push that off on for his rise to the top. It's not going to agree. So that's why you want to be careful. That's why I'd say you might want to take some ideas or borrow some ideas from NASA and those corporations that work with other nations to solve problems. Don't be a faction, because they don't probably want to put a bunch of criminals in space running around crazy. Right? It gets dangerous. As we see, it's dangerous on the ground. See why health and all that's important, right? So if we were all cleaned up and decent, right, if Joe and them spent money some time before to clean us all up and get us all fixed, and the families weren't on drugs, and then groups of you came in and made fun of them, made fun of witnesses or the Jews that are cleaned up, and infected them and put drugs in them and did all this weird shit, that pisses people off, because not everybody wants to live that way, right? So you don't want to pretend to be civil when you never were in the first place. If you want to become that, work towards that, but don't torture more people and lie as you're doing it, right? Because there's signs all over the place. See? What does that look like there? A seal, dolphin, bell. So we just it's going to tie everything back to those two streets in those neighborhoods and who infiltrated them, when most of those people in those neighborhoods, Pitkin Street, Jamaica Street, right, those people who had houses didn't have those kind of personalities, right? It was when the gangs came in on the outsides that disrupted everything. See? And that's what I'm trying to fix, right? You guys don't always sit there because you fear the African American or whatever, certain groups, bow down to that, because if you want respect in the world, you don't want to hold your ground, and that's what I'm doing, okay? You guys never had to pick up a gun or a weapon at all. It's just holding your ground in what you truly believed. So, Lita, if you're running around with other people's stories, like I said, copying and listening to people at Starbucks and these corporations, this and that, and building up your castle, they're going to have a disagreement when they finish building their castle, right? So you're better off working together and stopping this torture technique that you're using on a city based upon the things you see, because that might not have been the story.